Welcome to Javaccino again. Today we are going to learn how to make iced coffee. Part of making iced coffee is you must make coffee. Now, depending on where you have your class or how much iced coffee you have to make, you will either make your coffee in a traditional coffee pot type coffee machine, or you will make it in a percolator. And the advantage of that is you can make very large quantities of coffee at one time. We are making a single batch, and so we're going to make our coffee here, and we need 2 batches of coffee. As you see, I've made 1, so I am going to start the second batch. These are 12 cup coffee pots, which means you need 12 tablespoons of ground coffee. It's 1 tablespoon per cup of coffee. So we will, on a different day, grind a lot of coffee and pre-measure it into Ziplocs for this. So you put the 12 tablespoons of coffee, or a 3/4 cup, as a review from your basics measurement unit, into the coffee filter, and set the filter into your basket, and that slides right into these grooves up here. Okay. You can set your empty coffee pot here, and then this pitcher has a line here where you fill it with water, and you remove this lid and pour the coffee right up here. It's a screen. So I'm going to pour this in. Now the nice thing about this coffee machine is it's already full of hot water. So as you pour the water in here, it displaces the hot water and forces the hot water out, so your coffee comes through pretty fast. Okay? So while that's brewing, I'm going to go ahead and start mixing up our batch of iced coffee. This iced coffee is one of our very popular beverages at Javaccino. I know at this campus frozen mochas are by far the all-time popular, but iced coffees are up and coming. Okay, we need 28 ounces of Eagle brand milk. Eagle brand milk is a brand name. It's really sweetened condensed milk. And the way they make sweetened condensed milk is they take milk, regular milk, and they take all the water out. So it's evaporated milk. And then they replace that water with sugar. So sweetened condensed milk is very, very sweet. So this is what will help sweeten up our coffee. Now in class, you will more than likely be measuring your sweetened condensed milk out of great big 10-pound cans. But we are using small cans today so that we don't have to throw away an entire can, since we are doing these demos over the summer. Be very careful when you pick up these lids so that you do not get cut. The edges are very sharp. And again, I'm using a knife to get these out, not my fingers, because again, you will cut yourself on the edge. So you use the knife to pry it out of there. All right, so we mix the coffee in a stock pot because it's going to make a larger amount. So you pour all of your Eagle brand milk in here. These recipes are very, very easy. If you were making this at home, you could get this Eagle brand milk right at Jewel or any grocery store, and it's almost always found in the baking aisle by your cake mixes, pie crust, sugars, that aisle. And again, coffee you can always get at home, or at Jewel. That's very easy. And then we need 1 cup of vanilla syrup. This is not vanilla extract. Vanilla extract is very, very bitter and has no sugar in it. This is sweetened. This is very, very sweet. And I have noticed that some grocery stores are starting to carry the syrups for flavored coffees. It's a liquid, so you measure it in a glass measuring cup. And 1 cup is 8 ounces of a fluid, for review from your culinary basics days. And a smidge more. So this gets poured in here. And I'll put the lid back on in case I bump it. You can go ahead and start mixing this up to incorporate the vanilla with the sweetened condensed milk. Your sweetened condensed milk is very thick. It's kind of like a pudding consistency. So we want to get all of that mixed up. All right. Then you add your 2 pots of coffee. So here's pot number 1, and be careful, again, the coffee is hot. You might be able to see the steam coming out of there. Oh, and it smells heavenly. We have our own little coffee shop here. Alright, we can see our coffee there is almost done brewing. Now, when you set pots back up here, this is a hot plate. You want to make sure that you turn off the burner. Alright, so I've turned off that top burner and we're just waiting for that coffee. While that's going on, I will start getting the cups. Now, what's going to happen on Javaccino days is a little different than what's going to happen today. Today, on Javaccino days, we're going to pour this mixture into pitchers and put them in the refrigerator so that this liquid mix gets very, very cold. Then on Javaccino day, we'll pour it into the cup over ice, and it'll stay cold because the liquid was cold. However, today, we want to get through the demo, we are going to be putting this hot liquid over ice, and that's going to melt the ice very quickly and water down the beverage. So that is why on Javaccino days, we've let this chill so that our drinks, the flavor of the drink is maintained, the integrity, and it's not watered down as soon as the customer gets it. Okay, our second part of coffee is done, so we'll go ahead and pour that in here. And we'll turn that burner off, and we'll finish mixing this. Now, this hot coffee helps dissolve all of that Eco Brand milk, so this is a very easy, quick mix. There's nothing that you have to toil over. Okay. And we'll see if I can do this without spilling too much. There we go. Now, if you pour towards yourself, you can see where you're pouring. Alright, so you're not guessing, am I over the pitcher, am I over the pitcher, whoops, I missed. You can see exactly what you're doing and you have more control. Okay, so then we would put this pitcher in the refrigerator and let it set until Javaccino morning so that that is nice and cold. For the demo today, we want to show you what this beverage will look like. These beverages are topped with whipped cream and chocolate syrup. So you will get a Javaccino cup, and you will fill it about halfway with ice. Now again, I need a bigger bowl for all this ice because I'm spilling it everywhere. But on Javaccino morning, that would be in a cooler, so there wouldn't be ice going everywhere. Now, on these cups are lines, and right here is the line we want to pour this to because we have to allow room for the whipped cream topping and the chocolate syrup. If we fill this to the top and then add whipped cream, when we put the lid on, the whipped cream oozes out all over the place and it's a mess because then the customers get the whipped cream on their hand and they're holding books, and so that doesn't go over well. Okay, so we pour it to that line, and again, this is going to start melting that ice immediately because it's hot, but that would not happen on Javaccino morning. And you will have cans of whipped cream. Now you always point the can straight down. Okay. And then you will have squirt bottles of chocolate syrup, and you can just squirt some chocolate over the top. Lid and serve.